Hey everybody, it's Aquamarine Rose, welcoming you to something a little different than usual. I didn't get to be on the bandwagon of reacting to Markiplier's Pokemon Smash or Pass, so instead I'm going to react to the next best thing. I have not seen this video yet. But there was another reason I wanted to do this, and that was because I wanted to make some predictions about what we're going to hear, and things that I think are going to show up in this concept. So, I don't remember exactly what Markiplier picked in the last thing, but there are a couple of things that I think we're going to see very strongly. Like the concept of... Let me write... I think power... like, I guess I'm kind of making like a miniature bingo card, but not quite. So, power dynamics. I say that because we often hear in many of... Well, I shouldn't say many of Markiplier's videos, but whenever things like his attraction to things come up, he makes the joke of, it's not a sexual thing, it's about power. Which, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, Mark, that statement is still an inherently sexual statement, because having, or well, I shouldn't say inherently, but that the idea of having a partner that has power over you is a sexual preference in and of itself. So I think that's going to be a major aspect of it. We're also going to see strong personalities. One thing that I remember Mark picked a lot was very smug, very like where and this is almost just like more of an aspect of trying to pick a smasher pass based on official art in the first place, that you have to grab onto something, and if you notice the personality says something specific, although that will change things. But there's also one thing that I want to know very interestingly. How much is... That is probably a really stupid question, but because something I'm curious about is that it's... Let me... word route. Because let's be honest, it's easy enough for someone to make an attractive fantasy creature, or to take a fantasy creature and turn it attractive. One of the major reasons that a lot of furries and degenerates these days exist is probably partially because of fan art taking something that is innocent and perverting it forever. So I'm curious, like, so if MatPat is, quote-end-quote, trying to create Markiplier's perfect Pokemon, how much is it going to look like a Pokemon compared to it looking like just an abomination of numerical whoosy-whatsits that will create something that takes... Like, how much of it is just going to be him trying to make an algorithm and it's not going to work? Or will he create something that actually looks like a Pokemon, but also has these certain aspects to it? I want to find that out, and we'll see as we go along. I'm not going to go too much more into preamble. Let's just get into it.
Pass. 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 Pass.
What's this?
Pass.
Sorry.
Smash.
Wait, why would he want?
I don't know why I find that one so funny in particular.
Because it's a big bug.
Matt.
Wouldn't that be like a smooshing it or a swatting it maybe?
Matt.
Oh. Gross.
I do like that intro. I like that
Internet.
intro.
Welcome to Game
It's stupid, but I love
Theory,
it.
The show that can't pass on the opportunity to ask you to smash
That subscribe button.
I'm very proud of that intro. Today's episode is
You should
dumb,
be.
Stupid, whoopid, silly, willy, in all the best ways possible.
Hell
Not
yeah.
Since the Luigi's Eggplant episode has there been something this dumb and ridiculous on the channel, but you know what?
Hell
Here we are, and
yeah.
I gotta admit, I am excited about it. We've been so serious lately, talking about FNAF
Sorry.
and Inscription and ARGs.
Sorry, my throat.
It's time to go back to the basics.
Yeah,
the
something
roots
silly.
Of this channel, analyzing one man deciding whether or not he'd enjoy having relations with 900 fictional animals.
Hell yeah.
Markiplier.
With the dabs,
Look, it's still alive. It's 2020. Come on, bring it back.
We actually have a bit of back and forth when it comes to our channel. He
Oh?
plays Power Wash Simulator and asks for a theory.
I want a deep dive video from Matt Pat about the lore of Power Wash.
Oh, I forgot about
I, like the
that.
good friend that I am, make the theory about it. He creates a mystery series full of lore. I dissect said lore.
Nerd.
He plays Security Breach and calls people who pick Monty Golf nerds.
Nerds.
Anyone that picks Monty Golf is
Just a
I,
nerd.
of course, go on to pick Monty Golf.
Golf.
Woo! Gator Golf. But if there's one thing I love more than Mark, it's math. Numbers. That sweet, sweet data. So when Mark
Hell
uploaded
yeah,
Smash or Pass
data.
video covering all 900 Pokemon, that was like the stars of content aligning. The whole thing happened with no context, no explanation, and seemingly no consistency.
No, I do hate the fact there was no explanations on his part, but that is one thing I really like about this whole concept, that he's just like, Markiplier makes Smash or Pass all 898 Pokemon, explains nothing, leaves.
Pass. I really did not mean to say Smash.
Did you?
This is horrifying.
Did you?
Smash.
But what if there was a subconscious pattern here? Some sort of
I-
logic that cuts through the seemingly random knee-jerk choices? What if there was a perfect
I-
Pokemon that Markiplier missed? Or
This is...
better yet, what if we created for Markiplier his perfect
Oh,
Pokemon?
no.
I had to look into it. And with the power of math on my side,
Oh,
what if I found
God.
something? Despite the preferences that he voices in the video, his subconscious was
Oh, no. That's what I'm kind of afraid of how much is this going to be math and how much of this is going to be design. Also, I want subjectively to take whatever this is and turn it into something. I want to see what it
making
would
decisions
actually
that
look
even
like.
he didn't fully understand.
Smash. But why?
But
Don't worry,
why?
Mark. As your friend, I'm here to help you out. So
Hell
let's dive
yeah.
into this meme-ish madness to see what this video actually tells us about Markiplier's Smash or Pass preferences.
Heck
Also,
yeah.
quick disclaimer before we
Oh.
start, not here to cast judgment or comment on any sort of sexuality. We're just sticking to the data and the trends that Mark provided about his preferences on fictional creatures. Love equals love, even when that means Mark's love for a giant sentient pile of sand.
Sand.
Weirdly Smash.
When the Smash or Pass video ends, Mark has said Smash to 73 Pokemon. Yes, I recognize that the video counter actually says 72, but when he says Smash to Lunala, the counter doesn't go up for whatever
That's
reason.
weird.
When you look at the totality of the 73 that he chose, there's a real variety here. So before we get into the whole
sorry.
data set, I thought it'd be a good idea to start with the Pokemon that he didn't just choose to smash, but that he had a noticeable response to.
Yeah,
Over the
that-
course of the video, there are
That sounds like... That is definitely the place I would start. I can't really think of where else I would start, really.
3 in particular that merit an over-the-top reaction. Florges,
I mean...
Sarina, and Pheromosa.
Interesting. Alright.
Lining these 3 up
Yet another...
side by side, you could immediately
Yes, I was gonna say, like, you can very obviously see a few common traits between these 3. Although, what I think is interesting is, I had made the Dimitrescu joke at the start of the video. Illumise kinda looks like Dimitrescu a little bit, doesn't it?
start to see a trend appearing. What I would describe as traditionally humanoid feminine features. Sultry eyes, long legs, that kind of thing. Pheromosa and
Yeah.
Sarina even talk about these features in their Pokedex entries. Quote from Pheromosa's Ultra Sun
Or
entry.
Pheromosa, not Illumise. Illumise is a completely different Pokemon.
In
Pheromosa.
another world, its body is thin and supple, but it also possesses great power.
And from Pokemon Sword's entry on Sarina.
It's about power! I knew it!
This feared Pokemon has long, slender legs and a cruel heart. It shows no mercy as it stomps on its opponents.
What this shows us is not only did these two have traditionally feminine qualities, they're also incredibly strong and prone to violence. Definitely coincides with data that we've seen from Mark. in the
Yes!
How many times have I
Ye-
said, I want a woman that could crush my head in between her thighs?
Yeah,
I knew it! I knew that was gonna come up! Yes! Okay, I'm overreacting a little bit, but like, I knew that was gonna come up!
Has those step on me vibes.
People might mistake me for some kind of a masochist.
which isn't true and
You-
would be ridiculous for people to think that.
In fact, I was surprised by how many Pokemon he chose that did have sharp teeth, claws, talons, and spikes. 19 to be precise.
Okay.
26% of his choices.
Oh.
Now, obviously,
I
that
mean-
means that 74% of his choices didn't have things that could cut, tear, or gouge him, but it felt like quite a high percentage for someone that vehemently denies being a masochist.
Do you
And
think
also-
Mark is a masochist? Yes.
Yes!
So
What, completely
obvious. And for some reason, denial about it.
Outside of the
Thank you, Jack. Oh, I haven't seen that before. Oh, that's new, but that's what I was gonna say. Like, and ignoring, I mean, as I said, even ignoring the obvious masochistic tendencies, we can very much point to, like, he jokes about it being about power, and power dynamics are a preference unto itself. Whether that be someone actually using power against him, or something with power giving you control, which essentially accentuates your own power, because they could destroy you if they wanted to, but instead they're submitting. So, but that's its own topic.
those physical features, that's about it. Nothing much to unite the key three, so I then took a look at the wider data set. And it's there that you really start to see some fascinating trends. Looking at every Pokemon Mark would smash, his overwhelming preference were Pokemon from Generation 7, 16 of the 73, roughly 22%, including choices like Zalazzle and Primarina. The interesting thing about that is that Generation 7 primarily took place in Alola, Pokemon's version of Hawaii. And we're
Sorry for my throat.
Mark was born in Hawaii.
Oh my
Clearly,
god.
He felt some kind of deep-seated connection with the Pokemon native to his birthplace, despite these choices being made without him recognizing anyone past Gen 1.
Oh my god, I didn't even think of that, mostly because I didn't know Mark was from
Now
Hawaii.
we're getting into things that I have no idea. Are these even real Pokemon anymore?
Sometimes the heart just can't articulate what the heart wants, but deep down, it knows what feels right. And while Mark immediately shows an innate preference for leggy Hawaiians, beyond that, he appears to be fairly open-minded. Take typing, for instance. Mark, in general, shows no discrimination.
I was gonna
Every
wonder.
type here has been smashed at least twice.
Oh.
His top types are Psychic, which came out to 11 smashes,
Oh.
closely followed by Water with 10. All the rest were 8 or lower,
Nice.
with Steel and Rock being the bottom two categories.
Sorry.
But Psychic being at the top actually makes a lot of sense
Oh.
when you think about it. We've established Mark's attraction for humanoid figures in the Pokemon, and if you look at Psychic types, a decent number of them appear to be in the human-like egg group. Even ones
Oh.
that don't appear there do tend to have human or fairy-like qualities, like Mewtwo or the Tapu legendaries. Speaking of appearances, it's probably worth talking about color. I mean, things like type aren't necessarily obvious when you first look at them. Even the anime has this running joke about Pseudo-Wudo looking like a tree, but actually being a rock type.
Pseudo-Wudo's a rock type? That's pretty hard to believe. Rock types are usually rough and rocky. Pseudo-Wudo's more like a grass Pokemon.
So,
Yeah,
while
I mean-
Mark's type selection may have been more of a subconscious one, color is something that's very hard to ignore when the
Ooh.
Pokemon is right there in front of
Oh,
you.
I
Looking at
wonder.
the primary and secondary colors of each of his choices, Mark showed a preference towards Pokemon that contained large amounts of the color purple, closely followed by pink and black. Purple to me seemed like an obvious choice, as I've always associated with the Psychics, but when I look back at it, there aren't actually that many purple Psychic types. I guess it was always the Psychic Energy card from the TCG that had been burned into my brain.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
interesting.
Purple, in color theory, combines the calm stability of blue with the fierce energy of red. Both things that I think combine Mark to a T.
I'm pretty sure this was not part of my contract, and frankly, I hate everything you stand for and everything that you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Cricket!
Purple is all-
Wait! Oh god, I realize now that I might have to, like, not cut, but, like, I have to make sure I'm not, like, peeking the mic. Oh god, did I peek the mic? I hope I didn't. Oh, I'm so sorry if I broke your eardrums, but I wasn't ready for the Cricketoon censor. Oh, Mark, you are an absolute mad lad, and I
color
love you.
associated with royalty. Again, a not too unfamiliar Markiplier trait.
Place
Oh.
the crown upon my head and then call me the
King of Five Nights at Freddy's!
Now, I'd be
You know, I didn't actually think of that, but that is definitely something that... But yeah, like, And I guess that also kind of goes with royalty. That also loops back into royalty, power, submission, domination, all that crap.
Remiss if I didn't talk about Mark's preferences when it comes to other features.
8 feet tall? Are you kidding me?
She's very large, very powerful, very large.
Height and weight, obviously not something that's immediately obvious when you look at a Pokemon. And if you have any connection with the anime, you know that height and weight are, inconsistent there at best. But I looked at it anyway. Mark did choose a couple of big boys, namely Wailord at 14.5 meters or 47 feet long, and weighing in at the whopping 398 kilograms or 877 pounds. Something tells me, Mark, in that situation, you're not the one doing the smashing. And while that's certainly one end of the spectrum, he once again shows a willingness to diversify his tastes, with him going so far as to smash Sinistee, the black tea Pokemon that measures in at 0.1 meters or 4 inches tall and weighs in at only 0.2 kilograms or 0.4 pounds. All that being said, when you look at the graph, there is a definite trend here. Sure, there are a number of outliers, but most of his choices were under 100 kilograms and also under 2 meters in height, with his averages sitting at 1.53 meters, just over 5 foot tall, and 58 kilograms, or 130 pounds.
Makes sense,
the average
that
woman
is...
in the United States is 1.5 meters, or 5 foot 3.5 inches tall, and weighs in at 77.5 kilograms, or 170 pounds. So in spite of Markiplier's insistence that he likes them big...
How many times have I said, I want a woman that could crush my head in between her thighs?
The evidence actually shows that his preference is for Pokemon that are smaller than average.
Interesting.
I mean, I wasn't implying that small, but he did just help me segue into my next point, animal groups. You know, mammals, fish, reptiles, birds, amphibians, invertebrates, those sorts of groups.
I'm curious
now. It's a very simple way for us to group animals based on certain features.
Alright,
the Pokemon world already has its own version of this, which is the egg groups, but egg groups are weirdly unspecific, especially when it comes to some of the larger categories. The field group, for instance, is the most common group, so it's not surprising that it came out as the #1 in Markiplier's pick of Pokemon. But the group itself is very random. There are mammals like Lot Bunny, but also reptiles like Arbok and birds like Blaziken. So as the group consists of many different types and appearances, it seemed pretty
not
helpful from a data standpoint. Hence, I broke the data down into what each Pokemon looks like, adding a couple of extra categories like objects, ghosts, plants, and humans to cover all the bases. I initially thought that birds were going to be at the top because so many of his picks were just straight up birds like Swanna and Mandibuzz. But the data was actually a bit more spread out than I expected, with 4 groups all basically tied for the top slot. Birds, bugs, mammals, and humanoids. I did try to take it a step further. Maybe it wasn't actual birds that came out on top, but maybe bird-like faces, pointed and sharp features. Think Pokemon like Zoroark with its elongated face, or Malamar, who's more like a squid but has a beak and is just very long and pointed. However, the data surprised me here, as 18 faces do fit the sharp, pointed description, but it was trounced by the 35 Pokemon he chose with rounded facial features, like Gardevoir, Sliggoo, Ledian, and of course, Magneton. Can't get much rounder than literal orbs. Now, obviously, you can't measure things like age when it comes to Pokemon, other than the odd Pokedex entry like Florges that talks about him being centuries old. Evolution, on the other hand, is measurable. How many evolutions in each Pokemon's evolutionary chain? How do they evolve? What stage within the evolutionary chain does Markiplier prefer? And it seems like he likes them mature. Of the 73 smashes, 42 were fully evolved forms, and 33 of those came from a 2-step evolution process. It's also worth noting that most of his choices were evolutions brought about by leveling rather than things like items, friendship, or trading. Weirdly, the results tell us what I think we can all agree on. Mark works hard, and he surrounds himself with people who also work hard. He puts a lot of effort into his content. He works out regularly. At least I thought he did.
You exercise often and stay active. No.
I thought you did.
Not lately.
Oh,
and so he
lately,
appreciates a Pokemon in his life that's not going to be there just for show, but instead is going to be putting in the effort alongside him. But effort into what? What skills does he find particularly useful?
Oh, no.
Well, it turns out Mark wants a companion that stays close to him and can fend off attackers from a distance. One that he would never have to send directly out into dangerous territory. In short, he's a big fan of Pokemon with high special attack stats and low defense stats. To me, this translates to Mark being fiercely loyal and protective over a small handful of people, keeping them very close, keeping them safe, but maybe being distant himself to those outside of his inner circle. And just like that, we've come to the end of my data-driven journey.
All
In
right,
all the data
then.
collection, these were the strongest and most interesting
What do we
results.
got?
But what if we took it a step further?
Hit me,
I know
Matt.
Mark reacted to all the Pokemon. His list is definitive of what he would and would not smash, but what if there was something he missed? One that in the flow of the video he said pass on without considering. What is the perfect Pokemon for Markiplier based on all the data that we just crunched? It's time I pull out the big guns, or as the man himself himself would say,
This is big brain time.
so after
Hell
analyzing all our
yeah.
data, we can determine that Markiplier's perfect match needs to be about 4 foot 5 inches to 5 foot tall, 1.35 to 1.53
Alright.
meters, and weigh in between 80 and 128 pounds, 36
Alright.
to 58 kilos. They need to be a purple psychic type with high
Alright.
special attack and low physical
Oh.
defense. They need to be the fully evolved form of a 2-step evolutionary line, which is achieved via leveling up. They need to be in the field egg group, and more specifically have the appearance of a mammal, bird, human, or bug. And ideally, they got
Huh.
some strong, long legs that he can crush his head between. So plugging all that into the computer, we get...
Who's
drum
that
roll, please,
Pokemon?
Nothing. Mark didn't just pass on one by accident. All the features just don't exist in one package.
Oh.
But don't worry, theorists. I wasn't content to leave you or Mark empty-handed. Maybe there's a Pokemon that's close enough. One that ticks almost all the boxes.
Oh, I
Just
am
not
very
quite all of
curious.
them. After digging around for several hours of my life that I'll never get back, I present to you the Pokemon
Oh.
that fits the bill, Mean Xiao. Height right in the pocket at 1.4 meters.
Heck
Weight
yeah.
right there at 35.5 kilos. Mean Xiao isn't a psychic type, but it is definitely purple, has low physical defense, and is the final form of a 2-stage evolution.
Oh.
And to round it all off, Mean Xiao is a mammal and part of the field egg group.
Interesting.
And what's most interesting of all
Oh.
was Mark's response to Mean Xiao during his video.
That would definitely make me a furry pass.
He paused to think about his decision, but what ultimately made him pass was the idea of the social stigma. What he think about his decision, but what ultimately made him pass.
Oh, poor Marky Moo. Oh, that hurts me. Oh, that would. Oh my god, because I remember seeing that the first time and thinking, huh, that's kind of odd. But I never actually processed the weight that had and the fact that
Definitely.
oh
He
no.
paused to think about his decision, but what ultimately made him pass was the idea of the
Social stigma.
What people might perceive him to be if he were to make that choice. Otherwise, it seemed like he was all ready to say smash like he smashed Lot Bunny just moments before, asking the exact
Same
thing.
question.
Does this make me a furry if I said smash?
Smash.
I guess what I and the data are collectively trying to say is, Mark, just go with your heart. Don't let society tell you what's right or wrong for you to smash. After all, Diamond and Pearl explicitly state that, quote, there once were
Thank you,
people who
editor.
married Pokemon. This was a normal thing because long ago, people and Pokemon were the same. So wanting to smash Pokemon isn't about being a furry. Instead, it's just about following the natural order, where Pokemon could become people and people could become Pokemon, and there was no judgment on either side. And you know,
I
I
mean-
think we could all learn a little
I
lesson
mean-
from that. And who knows, the Pokemon Company did just announce a brand new generation, Pokemon
Ooh.
Scarlet and Violet, so maybe this new generation will provide Mark with his perfect Pokemon. But
Oh.
then again, that's an awfully long time to wait, so how about I take matters into my own hands?
Although, I will say, we never saw what he thought of any Hisuian forms, or regional variants in general, which I think is slightly disappointing. I think that could have made for an interesting continuation, but that is, but that, okay, I feel like okay, maybe I'm not, like, actually emotional, but, like, I didn't even process, like, oh, smash, that, like, I didn't realize all that. That's, like, super interesting that, like, to see, that would definitely make, to see that he passed up on something that matches all of the things that he had shown preferences to before, but passed because it was a stigma. And also, I appreciate Markiplier bringing up the old lore, too. I appreciate that. That's very interesting.
Well, not literally my hands, considering I have zero art skills whatsoever, but instead, I decided to hire an artist to design Mark's perfect Pokemon for us,
Oh.
using all the attributes that we talked about today.
Oh.
One with a generally rounded face, but pointy features and sultry eyes. A purple mammal that would conceivably have psychic ability.
Okay, apparently I was wrong. I don't need to have subjectively make it, because Markiplier or MatPat already got an artist to do it. Oh, I so want to know what this is
Maybe
gonna
some
look like.
Long, strong legs that could crush a man's head, as well as some sharp claws for good measure. A Pokemon
Oh,
that
I
suggests
need to
femininity,
know.
but without being overly sexualized. And all of it wrapped inside of a character design that, you know, could conceivably appear in a future Pokemon game, as
Oh.
opposed to something that was just designed for Mark's visual entertainment. And
Oh.
so, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh.
I present to you Markiplier's perfect Pokemon.
Oh, I want to see.
I have to say, no matter what Mark thinks, I think this turned out great.
Oh.
Keep your leering male gaze elsewhere, my friend. I love this design.
Oh, I
Not
love
in
it.
a smashable way, though not
I mean-
necessarily really not in a smashable way. I just think it's great. I feel like I should submit it to Game Freak.
Oh, I
Our
love
artist
it.
Crushed it. She didn't.
Caterpillar. I feel like I need to remember. Oh, she's an editor, but oh, I like this. I like this design a lot. Like I love. Oh God, oh God. You know, I have accepted that I am a degenerate furry, and I will admit I want to see so much fan art get made of this one. Like like beat 'em up, like beat 'em up all over again. But I just like this design just from the perspective of enjoying the character design. I love the very pharaoh. I love like the like heavy Egyptian theming. The like it has aspects that almost looks like a statue while also being like very thoroughly inspired. Like I could totally see this being in like a Egypt based Pokemon region. Oh my god, I love it. Oh god, I must look like you know what, screw it. I don't care if I look like a furry. I made a freaking twink dragon as my profile picture. I do not care if I look like a furry for enjoying this design, but again, beyond just the yes, you can smash that. It's like that is such a good design. Matt Pat and Caterpillar, you did so well. I love it so much. Now let's get back to the video itself.
Incredible job. All of her links are going to be down in the description below, but fun's not over yet. This Pokemon doesn't have a name, so sound off in the comments what you think we should call this thing. I'm fascinated to see what you guys come up with, which means that there's only one thing left for you to smash, and that's the subscribe button. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I love that! Just the screaming Matt Pat on Dialga. Ah! And then Mark also screaming on Palkia. Oh, I love that.
Thanks for watching. And hey, if you're looking for more to watch, we've actually got a couple of other theories about Markiplier that are slightly more serious than this one. One looking into the Markiplier connected universe, which is going to be important with In Space coming up soon. And one about the secret messages that are hidden inside the channel that shall not be named. That is honest. Can't have your theory proved wrong if the evidence no longer exists, am I right? Anyway, those two links are on screen right now, so check them out if you enjoyed this one. Subscribe because you know we're going to be covering In Space with Markiplier when that comes out. And I'll catch you all next week.
Oh, that is really interesting. I think I basically already gave my opinions, but you know what? Let's go back to that notepad. I didn't really make that much, so let's see what we got. So we did not. So power dynamics. We definitely got a lot of references to those power dynamics. How he picked a lot of Pokemon with power and such, but we didn't actually get a Pokemon. Or we didn't really get that connection to power dynamics that I thought we would, to him being submissive or something. But what was really interesting was the fact that not only did we get the mention of power, we also got specific stats, where he not only went to preferences, where Matt not only looked into preferences towards power, but also to specifically high... Which is just really interesting. Actually, I want to look something up real quick. Hold on. I want to know something real quick. Special attack minus defense is mild. Okay, so there's not any particular references to that. That's interesting. We definitely got the apply Pokemon design philosophy, where he got an actual artist to design the Pokemon, which I find to be super duper interesting. Like, I was not prepared for that, and I find that exceedingly interesting. And personalities, we got a bit less. Well, we actually did get quite a bit about personalities, where we got the color connection to the like, we got the color connection with Matt Pat showing both red and blue aspects, which combine to make purple, and that being his largest color preference, which is technically a personality thing. And we also got the traditional feminine traits, which also kind of hit on the same idea of... which also hit a lot on that same concept of particular personalities coming from other aspects, which I guess isn't really personality, but like where like I had mentioned kind of like that was like one of the things that made me mention personality, that like the eyes, that one in the original thing, one thing that I noticed was the whole sultry eye thing. Like one of the things that I really remember was Lapras and him being like, why are you looking at me like that, or something like that. And I thought, okay, yeah, the sultry eyes are going to be a big part of this. And I was basically right, and I find this super interesting, and I can't wait to find out more about this mon and for it to be given an actual name, because I want to see so much more of this, not just for horny reasons, but for just everything that I could see from it. Let's actually see in the comments if there's any. Scared subject. Okay, just joking about he's too dangerous to be left alive. Tail's going to be great. Also, Mark, not a masochist. Yeah, I felt that one. I'd like to imagine all the Pokemon professors watching this and disappointed in what all their years of research has come to. I mean, it's not. This is the content we want and need and would die without. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. Okay, people are just joking about the internet. Yes! Yes, bruh, momentum. Yes. I cannot wait. Anything else? The game theory. Out of everything to make, the game theories make this. This is what the world has come to. Unlovable, does not get enough love, barely even most Pokemon get. You know. Oh, I like those names. I don't like Fairouth, just because it's too much like referencing it being a... Let's make me a furry. We are all furries on this blessed day. A cursed episode. They're really... Gosh, Magnet and the Beast is really surprising to me. Pokemon, I will refuse to elaborate. This is the joke I made earlier, that, like, he makes the Smasher pass all Pokemon, refuses to elaborate, leaves. And then Matt's like, don't worry, I'll elaborate for you. And Markiplier's Pokemon video become a trend, they sure weren't joking. Point where he analyzes Markiplier's Smasher pass episode on Pokemon to create is the perfect soulmate. Honestly, I love it. There's one thing I love more than Mark, it's math. Oh... Meow. Oh, I like that. Oh, Cleopatra. Oh, I like that a lot. Is there anything? Title, read. But I guess we didn't get nearly as many. I think insane person. Yeah, that was about the same, but I'm gonna probably stop. Like, I have a feeling that I'm not going to find that many more interesting names, but so basically, what I have already done, basic concept. Like, I enjoyed this a lot, and yes, it's probably going to do something horrible to my channel, but I enjoyed this so much, and if you want to see me play, I guess just plug some things, like, you know, if you aren't, I guess I'll do the standard. Yeah, let me just go steal...
In the description below, but fun's not over yet.
How
this Pokemon doesn't have a name to come up with, which means that there's only one thing left for you.
There's only... Just steal this blatantly from MatPat.
You to smash, and that's the subscribe button.
Oh, that didn't work. Dang it. Am I going back like one frame at a time or something?
You to smash.
There's only one thing left for you to smash. That's the subscribe button. I screwed that up so much, but thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you either during my next stream on twitch.tv/AquamarineRose, or perhaps in another proper video on YouTube, and I'll see you guys then.